Well, good morning, folks. It's the real Captain Kirk. It is the 6th of July, day 111 remote, even though we're pseudo-green here in eastern PA. For those who like countdowns, we have 77 days till fall. So I hope you're enjoying these summer days and hope you had a great 4th of July Independence Day weekend. Very active start to the tropical Atlantic hurricane season here. We actually now have system number 5, Edouard. Another fish storm northeast of Bermuda, but again, heading out into the Atlantic. But again, just a sign of things to come here. So we've been warning about this for over a year now, that this would be an extremely active and ultimately, as we get into the core season here, devastating season in the months ahead here. This week, again, we'll have to watch the East Coast. A system could develop, according to Hurricane Center, and both the GFS and Euro showing it. How strong it gets, TBD. It's probably going to be too close to the coast for anything too major, but again, a very wet week along the East Coast, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, even into the weekend. So hopefully this isn't your vacation week along the shore. This helps put it into perspective here. These are the number of systems to date for the season. So we're at 5. That's near record fast start for going back 165 years. So average should be about 2 systems at this point in the season. So again, usually the season doesn't kick off until more of the August, September, October timeframe, but very active start. If we look back at some of these active starts in 05, 12, 16, we had some notable storms, Katrina, Sandy, Matthew. So again, concerned here as we projected back in the fall that we thought there'd be at least 20 plus named storms. Again, most active season probably since 2005, 11 hurricanes, 5 major hurricanes, and we expect definitely a major landfalling hurricane threat, whether it's southeast Florida, Louisiana, or the New York City, Long Island area are kind of our top 3 high-risk areas, and again, we've not changed our mind on that logic. One thing that is down this year is tornadic activity. We, again, projected to be down as much as 50% when the season's said and done. Right now, we're down 33% from last year, 15% below average, so this makes the tornado season in the bottom 25th percentile. So it's not been an active season. Had some early starts here, but back in April, but been pretty quiet since. Way down from the 2011 season when we had 55, we're down 55% from that very active, hyperactive 2011 tornado season. The other thing that's actually way up is the dry to drought versus last year. Way up was the rain. So map left here is a spring, summer rainfall versus average trend. So those peaches and browns are very dry, below normal, and the greens, lighter greens, and dark greens are above average. So again, pretty dramatic change from last year. Again, record low drought. Only 10% of the country had dry to drought. This year we're already at 45%. We had projected we'd be at 50% by fall, and looks like we're well on our way to achieving that, and upwards of near 55% as we get into spring, early summer 2021. So definitely a drying cycle here. If you haven't noticed, some of the lawns here in the east are getting pretty dry, especially in the New Jersey, New England area. Looking at these year-over-year trends here since spring, again, this is the way our big retail clients like to look at it. The bars, red bars on the left here, are temperatures warmer than a year ago. Blue bars colder. So we had a fantastic March. Unfortunately, we had COVID, but should have been a good month for retail sales. April was pretty anemic with the cold conditions. May, very slow start with the late freezes. And then since then, though, since about mid-May into June, it's been much more favorable. So we're still pretty bullish that Q2 is going to probably end up pretty good for most retailers and suppliers, especially those that, again, have online activity and things that we need around our homes. So food and beverage, home and garden sales typically going to do very well in this pattern for Q2. Looking at this week, 6 through 12 July here, again, wet along the East Coast. Again, so this system here potentially going to make it the number 1 wettest early July period here in 35 years. About 2.3 degrees warmer than last year nationally. That makes it the number 1 warmest in 35 years. So much above average national temperatures. Cool spot will be the Pacific Northwest and along the mid-Atlantic states here, where, again, we're going to have some rain-cooled air, if you will. Looking at the middle of July period here next week, 13 through 9 July, a little bit cooler than last year, half degree cooler, but still 5th warmest in 35 years. Cool spot's going to be in the Midwest, Great Lakes, probably very, very hot, obviously in the Rockies and those dry areas. So dry areas tend to get hotter, and the hotter areas tend to get drier. So it's kind of a self-feeding mechanism. East Coast, a bit above average, but again, potentially very wet again. So wettest in 24 years, 2nd wettest in 35 years, much above average precip. But again, where they need it in the western 2/3 of the country, not a lot. Those are just little spotty thunderstorms. So whether you get one, you're lucky. If you don't, the vast majority won't get much rain in the western 2/3. Looking at the 2-week world temperature trends here, 6 through 19 July. Again, very warm in the U.S. Europe's actually below normal. So again, you get into France, Germany's, and the Central Europe areas below normal. Pretty warm across much of China. Even Brazil is above average. Map inset left there is the rainfall trends versus average. So again, very wet along the east coast, kind of dryish in parts of Europe, a little bit of wet weather there in Spain. So with that, folks, we hope you have a great week, and we will be back here this time next week.